In the grand tapestry of the late Roman Empire, few figures shine with the quiet yet profound brilliance of Empress Aelia Flaccilla. Her story is not one of military conquest or political intrigue, but of a deep, abiding faith that manifested in extraordinary acts of charity. She was born in Hispania, a land that had produced emperors and scholars, yet her legacy would be one of piety. Around the year 376, she married Theodosius, a promising military commander who would soon ascend to the imperial throne. Their union would produce two future emperors, Arcadius and Honorius, and a daughter, Pulcheria. Aelia Flaccilla was granted the prestigious title of Augusta, a recognition of her status and influence. However, she chose to wield her influence not for personal gain, but for the betterment of the most vulnerable. Theodore VIII, a historian of the Church, wrote with great admiration of her works. He chronicled how she personally tended to the sick and disabled. She would visit the homes of the less fortunate, offering comfort and aid directly. Her philosophy was a radical one for an empress of Rome. She believed that while distributing money was an imperial duty, personal service was a higher calling. This was her offering to the God who had bestowed upon her such a high station. She did not delegate her charity. She lived it. The empress would go to the guest chambers of the churches, places where the sick and weary gathered. There, she would perform the tasks of a common servant. She would prepare food with her own hands, a humbling act for a woman of her rank. She would wash the dishes, a chore far removed from the splendors of the imperial palace. She would attend to the sick, offering them not just material aid, but her physical presence. She would help them into bed, ensuring their comfort and dignity. She did not shy away from the realities of poverty and illness. Her hands, which could have been adorned with the finest jewels, were instead used to serve the afflicted. Saint Gregory of Nyssa, a prominent theologian, was deeply moved by her actions. He famously called her a mother of the indigent, a title that captured the essence of her work. Her charity was not a detached, formal affair. It was personal, intimate, and deeply compassionate. She saw the face of Christ in the poor and the suffering. Her faith was the bedrock of her existence. Aelia Flaccilla was a staunch defender of the Nicene Creed. She understood the theological debates of her time with clarity and conviction. She used her position to support and promote Orthodox Christianity. She was a pillar of the Church, as described by her contemporaries. Her court was a center of piety, not just imperial power. She actively resisted the Arian heresy, which challenged the divinity of Christ. She saw it as her sacred duty to protect the true faith. A famous incident illustrates her resolve perfectly. The Arian leader Eunomius sought an audience with Emperor Theodosius. Aelia Flaccilla intervened, fearing the emperor might be swayed. She implored her husband to refuse the meeting. She argued passionately for the integrity of the Nicene faith. Her intervention was successful, and the meeting was prevented. This act solidified her reputation as a guardian of orthodoxy. Saint Ambrose of Milan, another giant of the early church, held her in the highest esteem. He praised her as a soul true to God. He saw in her a model of Christian virtue and leadership. Her influence extended beyond simple acts of charity. She helped shape the religious policy of the empire. She encouraged Theodosius in his efforts to establish Nicene Christianity as the state religion. Her life was a testament to the power of faith in action. She demonstrated that true imperial power lay not in dominance, but in service. Her example resonated throughout the empire and beyond. She became a figure of veneration, a saint in the eyes of the people. Her death in 386 was a cause for widespread mourning. Saint Gregory of Nyssa delivered her funeral oration, a powerful tribute to her life and work. He spoke of her as a leader of justice and a model for all Christians. Her legacy was cemented in the memory of the Church. The Palatium Flaccillianum in Constantinople was named in her honor. A statue of her was placed in the Byzantine Saint, a rare tribute for an empress. Her story continued to be told for centuries. She was a beacon of hope in a turbulent age. Her life offered a different vision of power. It was a vision rooted in humility, compassion, and unwavering faith. She showed that an empress could be a servant. She proved that a palace could be a house of prayer. Her sons, Arcadius and Honorius, would inherit a divided empire. Their reigns would be marked by challenges and instability. Yet the spiritual foundation their mother laid was a powerful inheritance. Her daughter, Pulcheria, died in infancy, a personal tragedy for the empress. This loss may have deepened her empathy for the suffering of others. She transformed her personal grief into public service. She found solace in alleviating the pain of her subjects. The streets of Constantinople witnessed her quiet acts of mercy. She would often travel with a small retinue, avoiding imperial pomp. She sought out the forgotten corners of the city. She visited the hospices and orphanages that she had helped to establish. Her presence brought a sense of hope to the destitute. She listened to their stories, sharing in their sorrows. She offered them not just charity, but human connection. Her work was a form of prayer, an active devotion. She understood that faith without works is dead. The imperial court was often a place of luxury and excess. Aelia Flaccilla introduced a spirit of austerity and piety. She encouraged the ladies of the court to engage in charitable works. She led by example, never asking of others what she would not do herself. Her days were structured around prayer and service. She would rise early for morning prayers. She would then oversee the distribution of alms. The afternoons were often spent visiting the sick. Her evenings were dedicated to her family and to further prayer. She was a devoted wife and mother. She instilled in her children the values of her faith. She taught them that their imperial titles came with immense responsibility. She wanted them to be rulers who served their people. Theodosius deeply respected his wife's piety. He often sought her counsel on matters of faith and justice. The partnership was a powerful force for the promotion of Christianity. Together, they helped to shape the future of the Byzantine Empire. Her influence was subtle but pervasive. She did not command armies or issue edicts. Instead, she changed hearts and minds through her example. She was a moral compass for the imperial court. Her life was a sermon preached through actions, not just words. The sick she tended were of all backgrounds. She made no distinction between rich and poor, citizen and foreigner. Her compassion was universal, reflecting the love of God. She saw every person as a child of God, worthy of respect and care. This was a revolutionary concept in a society still marked by rigid social hierarchies. She challenged the conventions of her time. She redefined what it meant to be an empress. Her legacy is not found in grand monuments of stone. It is found in the enduring tradition of Christian charity. It lives on in the hospitals and orphanages that trace their origins to this era. It is reflected in the Church's ongoing commitment to the poor. Aelia Flacilla's story is a reminder that true greatness is found in humility. It is a testament to the transformative power of a single life dedicated to service. Her sainthood was not a title bestowed by a council. It was a recognition of a life lived in imitation of Christ. She remains a powerful example for leaders in any age. Her charity was not a political tool. It was a genuine expression of her soul. She sought no earthly reward for her actions. Her reward was in the act of giving itself. The memory of her kindness became a source of strength for the early church. Her image was one of gentle strength and unwavering resolve. She was a woman of profound inner peace. This peace came from her deep connection to her faith. She navigated the complexities of court life without losing her spiritual focus. She remained grounded in the simple truths of the gospel. Her life was a pilgrimage of faith. Each act of charity was a step on that journey. She walked with the poor and the marginalized. In doing so, she walked with God. Her story is a vital chapter in the history of Christianity. It illustrates the social impact of the faith in the Roman world. It shows how Christian values began to reshape society. Aelia Flaccilla was at the forefront of this transformation. She was an architect of a new kind of empire, one founded on mercy. Her work laid the groundwork for the Byzantine synthesis of Roman statecraft and Christian faith. She was a true empress, not just of territory, but of hearts. Her reign was a reign of compassion. The people of Constantinople loved her as their own. They saw her not as a distant ruler, but as a caring mother. Her name became synonymous with charity and piety. Her feast day, September 14th, is a day to remember her example. It is a day to reflect on the meaning of true service. Aelia Flaccilla's life continues to inspire. She is a timeless model of a leader who serves. Her story is a powerful counter-narrative to the tales of imperial excess. She represents the soul of the Christian Roman Empire. Her quiet revolution of compassion changed the world. She was a saint not because of miracles in the traditional sense, but because her entire life was a miracle of love in action. Her devotion was absolute. Her humility was radical. Her impact was eternal. She was Empress. She was Empress Aelia Flaccilla, the servant of God and the mother of the poor. Her legacy is a call to action for all people of faith. It is a challenge to live a life of service, to see the divine in the face of the suffering, and to use whatever power we have for the good of others. Her story will forever be etched in the annals of the Church, a shining example of faith made manifest in the world. She was a light in the darkness, a true Augusta of the heart. Her compassion was a revolutionary force in a world defined by power and conquest. She built bridges of empathy where others built walls of division. Her daily life was a testament to her belief in the dignity of every individual. She did not seek the spotlight, but her actions shone brightly nonetheless. The imperial palace, under her influence, became a place of prayer and reflection. She taught her sons that the true measure of a ruler is not their wealth, but their compassion. Her defense of the Nicene faith was not just theological, but deeply personal. She saw Arianism as a threat to the very soul of the empire. Her intervention against Eunomius was a pivotal moment in church history. She understood that the unity of the church was essential for the stability of the state. Her piety was not a performance. It was the core of her being. She found strength in her faith, a strength she used to lift others up. The poor of Constantinople knew her not as Augusta, but as a friend. Her acts of service were small, but their impact was immeasurable. She demonstrated that holiness could be found in the most mundane of tasks. Her life was a constant prayer, spoken through deeds of love. She left behind no grand monuments, only a legacy of kindness. This legacy, however, proved more enduring than any stone. She planted seeds of compassion that would bear fruit for generations. Church recognized her as a saint, formalizing what the people already knew. Her story became a source of inspiration for countless others. She was a true empress of the spirit, her reign defined by love.